What is up, guys? Stark here. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Whitebeard invasion that's just been released on Global. Now before that, you need to do a regular raid boss, and we're going to be doing Kuma on this one, and I'm going to try and do an ambush video on every raid boss. But we're going to be using a Croc team here. Now you do need pretty low specials on all your cooldowns. Not really for Kuma, but for Whitebeard himself. Just make sure you put Heracles and Robin in the bottom row. And other than that, you're good to go. You can replace Khalifa for treble. But, you know, I actually prefer Khalifa because it does give you a little bit of safety. But here we go on turn 1. You just want to go ahead and attack normally. Take a couple hits, you know, nothing to worry about. Just lower your HP a little bit to, you know, get Croc's attack boost up. I haven't tested if you can use the Moby Dick instead of the Red Force, but I think it could work. And basically what you're just doing here is, in the first couple of turns, you're just trying to stall for your specials the best you can. That's all you're really doing here. I am talking over this video. I literally did this 12 times before I got Whitebeard to show up. So I just recorded it, and I figured I'd just go ahead and talk through the video whenever I finally got him to show up. To be perfectly honest, though, with this Croc team, I was really worried about Whitebeard going into it, but once I got in there, it was actually, it was literally the first time I've ever done it, and it was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. So this team is definitely really good to use. Alright, so stage 3 here, you know, same strategy, just go ahead and try and get as many turns as possible for your stalling. You don't really need to worry about your orbs too much, because you can use your Heracles special to give yourself the matching orbs if you need them, but you know, sometimes you get that good luck and you get the matching orbs and you don't have to use Heracles. So we're going to move on to stage 4 here now. Alright, so as usual on stage 4, you just kill the Elder Seahorses, and you want to kill the back guys, preferably in 1 or 2 turns before they attack you. The guys in the front, they won't ever attack you, but they have really low HP, but you can use them to get a couple extra turns of stalling in, if you need that. And since my Croc's not max special, you know, I do need those extra turns of stalling, and that almost cost me in Whitebeard's ambush. Alright, so just go ahead and use either Heracles or Robin. Well, I mean, you don't have to use Heracles, but you definitely need to use Robin before you move on to stage 5. Just in case Kuma knocks out Robin, you want to make sure you have that HP down to 1 before you get into the fight. Otherwise, you're probably going to lose. Alright, so Kuma's going to knock out his unit. I think he knocks out... Yeah, he knocks out our Robin here, so that's why it was good for us to use Robin on stage 4. And then you just use a Croc special and Dofi, and you go ahead and attack. Now, you're not going to kill Kuma in 1 turn. I did miss there, but you have plenty of damage as long as you hit perfects with Khalifa and Dofi. And then you have 3 turns here. If you're using Khalifa, you have more turns, because you can use Khalifa special to survive his first attack. So just wait until you get another blue orb on Khalifa or Dofi, and then pop your second Croc, and you should kill Kuma no problem. And then after this, we'll move right on to the ambush. See, at this point, I was missing all my attacks, and I was like, you know, maybe it's time to stop. But we did get lucky here, and we got the ambush to show up. This was the last run I was going to do before I decided to stop for the day. Alright, here we go. So the ambush attack animation comes up. You've been ambushed. It's pretty cool, not gonna lie. Then we're gonna go ahead and accept and move on. And I was like super worried about this. Like, I was taking my time. I didn't want to screw up. But it wasn't that hard. So you just go here on the first stage. You just want to kill 3 of these guys. It doesn't matter which 3, so just kill the ones with the lowest attack cooldowns. And then you want to take 3 hits to get your HP low enough to do enough damage. Now if you're using the Moby Dick, obviously your strategy is going to be different because you already have low HP. So you don't want to take 3 hits, otherwise they'll kill you. But once you take the hits there, you just go ahead and, you know, stall out the last 2 turns and then move on to stage 2. If you do get meat orbs, I would recommend, you know, taking those so you can take hits from some of the other units. Now stage 2 is the only tricky part about this raid boss. You have 1 unit there with a great combo barrier and then the 2 female pirates who I believe will despair you. So make sure you kill them first, and then on the next 2 turns focus on killing the guy with the great barrier. I believe you can also spawn with a perfect barrier, so that would actually be a lot easier to deal with. Just go ahead and take that guy out and then work on stalling on the turtle as best you can. I actually screw up here, and I believe I hit a good on one of my attacks. Yeah, I did. But, you know, you can still clear it on the great on the final hit if you do enough damage there. And then just stall out the rest of the turns for the turtle. Just be careful for your HP. With Croc teams, you know, your HP is not very high, so you have to be very careful. So like, I know I can't take another hit from this turtle, so I have to clear it. And at this point, I'm worried that my Croc wouldn't be ready for Whitebeard himself. But you know, stage 3 here has a lot of high attack guys, so you should be fine as long as your cooldowns are relatively low. Now, one thing to point out though is that these red units will not buff their own attack when they drop below 20%. So you cannot get those extra turns of stalling. So don't do that. And I believe they attack for 14,000 damage, so if you make that mistake, you're probably going to see your run come to an end right there. So moving on here to stage 4, you have a bunch of units with a whole bunch of high defense. The only thing to do here is just to use Robin Special to clear them all and move on to Whitebeard. Now the one thing to point out with that is if you do use Robin Special, it doesn't count as a turn. So, you know, that might screw up your Croc Special if it's not maxed like mine is. But luckily I had just enough turns stalled to be able to use both Crocs. So on this first turn here, you just use 1 Croc Special and Khalifa, and that's it. And then just go ahead and attack normally. And Whitebeard's going to attack us. That's all he's going to do. And then you just use your 2nd Croc Special, Heracles and Dofi, and go ahead and clear the ambush. This raid boss can also drop the evolution skull for Whitebeard, but it is a really low chance. I'm not sure if it drops on stage 3 or stage 4, but it's definitely in here somewhere. And there you go, guys. That is Ambush Whitebeard with a Croc team off of the Kuma raid boss. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And like I said, I do plan on making ambush videos for every raid boss. Eventually, they might not come out the day the raid comes out, but eventually I do plan on doing it for every raid boss. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.